When raising goats, you have to fight parasites tooth and nail. You have to treat them at least once every 1 to 2 months, and especially right after they give birth. And it seems to be worse for goats and sheep. But what is a parasite? A parasite is a living organism that lives off another and are painful and irritating, but they're very easy to treat. They can be treated with antihelminthics. This one's roundworm treatment. There's cydectin, and then ivermectin. They have life cycles much like an insect. Internal parasites, the adults will be on the grass and the animal will eat them, going into their intestinal organs where they will feed and develop eggs, which will go through the digestive tract and onto the ground, and it's just repeated over. For external parasites, the eggs are either laid on hair or on the ground, and they will develop into larvae and eventually nymphs, where they will feed on the animal's blood through the skin. First we have stronginelles. They live on blood and mainly affect younger animals because you grow immunity to them as you get older. Roundworms are from ingesting fleas, and they go into the small intestine and will develop into adults and then bury themselves in your abdomen wall and then wait for the animal to get pregnant and then infect the fetus. And then we have pinworms, which mainly affect horses and live in the colon. Lungworms, the animals will cough out the eggs and onto the ground where they will be eaten, and then they find their way to the small intestine where they will dig their way up to the abdomen wall and to the lungs and live in the lungs. Cause a lot of coughing. Whitworms tend to live in the cecum, which is the it's only in animals. It's the appendix. That's it. Tapeworms can be up to 10 to 12 feet long. They are made up of little rice-like segments that break off to be eggs in the fecal. Heartworms are gained by being bitten by a mosquito, and you can give the animal preventatives, but you can't really treat it. Liver flukes have a really long and interesting journey. They start out in the bile duct in your liver and develop eggs where they go through the digestive tract, and the feces must land in water and then attach itself to a snail, where it's then where it develops and then later is left on a water plant, and then the host has to eat the water plant, and then it goes into their small intestine and finds their way to the liver where they live on blood. And then external parasites are very common to us. We have ticks. Ticks, you bite, attach themselves to your skin and drink your blood, and then develop eggs and to release into the environment. Lice live in the hair and feed off of blood and dead skin cells. They attach their eggs to the hair follicles. Mites, they irritate the skin and tend to cause scabies, scabs, mange, or barn itch. Flies are a big annoyance to animals. Heel flies will lay their eggs on the animal, where the larvae will go into the hair follicle, become a grub, and it makes this like bump-like boil thing, and will develop until they're ready to pop out onto the ground, and then they'll start flying. It's gross. And then horn flies are they will bite and suck off blood from the animals. They're like a very painful mosquito. Horse spots enter the body of the horse from the horse biting or licking itself, and will go into the stomach and then go into like the wall and the lining and feed off of there. And then nasal bots the fly would have landed the eggs on their mouth, and then the larvae, or I don't know the nymphs will like go up the nasal cavity into the sinuses, where they will then develop. So we have our internal and external parasites and what they are. So parasites are unwanted by human and animals alike for their painfulness and not neededness, kind of. They can be external or internal, and they feed off of blood. If untreated, they will cause anemia, malnutrition, and then eventually death. And then here's my sources.